Turn 60. I was going to replay the turn, but this auto undo broke, so I'm not sure. I'm just going to play it manually, remembering what I did. Our scholar came in. We will have this guy become a judge, because having another judge as hunters is super useful. I'm going to take growth in all my cities. That gets me citizens earlier. I'm going to go ahead and build a stronghold here. This disciple can chill where it is. Here I'm going to go start a quarry, a barracks. Here we will start a lumber mill, and likewise here we will start a lumber mill. This one can come up here and build a monastery. Likewise here we can establish redemption and get our theology, and thus get our ambition. This one I feel like I really need a garrison in this city, so I'm going to start that. Don't plan to do military production of this city, but I would love to get a garrison here, so I can get more things. The civics production of the city is insanely strong with those 3 marble. Here we can just start a mine, I think. Can't hurt to start one here. This worker, I guess I forgot to start that lumber mill. And then our scouts can chill. We're going to go adventuring in here and get some vision over here, what's going on. We will tutor our kid, our sister, younger sister with Cyrus, and remind ourselves to tutor on 63. Tutor on 66. And lastly, I had a note to remove the gems from this city, since it's now strong. I want to send them to this city. So this will speed things up by giving me 2 additional culture a turn. So this city is now 30 years away from strong, which is still a long way, but Ishtar is coming along. That's pretty good here. And now we are getting production up in this city as well. You can see it's actually our #1 production city, as is, largely because of that governor. We won't rush this turn, we'll rush next turn, with a master officer queued behind it, or even an elder officer queued behind it. I think that's the way the rushing thing works, and yeah, I realize I need to do a explanatory video on it. We could assign a judge governor here, potentially, to rush out monks 4 or 5 years. That's a possibility, honestly. We can assign her and remind ourselves to rush monk Aspadana 61. That will speed that up a little bit as well. Although honestly, since this is so close, I may actually want to have my leader there. So that she can, once this Elder Poets finishes, I'll probably assign a scholar here, or a lone scholar here. So I can start getting inquiries, probably in turn 60. Start inquiry. Once that hits strong, it's going to hit strong on 62. So, and we'll keep doing another granary. Just need to get more granaries up. We're just doing it without any food resource because we just want the growth, honestly. Nothing else to it. So I don't care about the food, really want the growth. In this city, we can just start an apprentice monk. We should have a free slot to get a barracks up and running. I'm not going to tutor this guy. We do have this guy, but he's ill, so he could die. I don't want to waste 200 gold, and he's pretty far back in the inheritance chain. 20 owners left, nothing I really want to do. Don't have any great agents left, just the king, dowager, who's old, and this merchant who's also ill and also could potentially tutor. So yeah, keep running with the agents that we have. Looks like he's speeding up hamlets here, getting an Odeon up and running. He's probably going to connect the coast here. We're 3 years away, so we definitely want to upgrade Kata. Archers on turn 63. Maybe an attacking window there with 3 Kata archers. Unclear, probably not. Might be better just sit back and ride wonders to the victory and see if you can attack into me. I don't know that I can do significant damage. Could take the city though, so potentially. So that may be worth it, especially once we get this Byreme out. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this turn. I'm gonna go do a situation report after this. Oh, and we got the random event from Duke Darius. He became eloquent, which is of course great. So he might be a good governor for here or here. Actually, probably better for here. Once we get a garrison up in Sardis, especially with the horses there. So yeah, that's probably a ways away realistically. Probably need to start that garrison so I can get him there, but we can just do the monk for now, and eventually, yeah, really committing a lot of workers here, but that's okay. We'll probably do another hamlet here, trying to connect along the coast. Might buy colonies at some point and just go for it, honestly. Don't want to right now, but we could. Especially here, connect all this with colony. We'll think about that. Alright, gonna send this back and do a situation report. Oh, one last thing I forgot to do. I also want to influence my husband. He's in love with me, so if I get an influence, that'll bring him to plus 200, which will give me even more science. So just going to do that with selling some food and influencing. That's it. Now on to the situation report. All right, we're back with the turn 60 situation report. So let's start with the timeline. So we left off on turn 50, and the world looked like this. So on turn 50, Carthage founded Judaism. We discovered sovereignty. And our ruler had died, so Queen Amestris had inherited. Carthage started the museum on 51. Random person died. He established the theology. I started Ishtar at 54. He finished the museum on 56, finishing in 5 turns, the power of a builder leader. He established revelation. My agent died and I replaced him in Carthage. We discovered metaphysics, and we established redemption. So, fulfilling our ambition, which helps quite a bit. Yeah, so it feels we're in a pretty commanding position just by expanding way earlier, thanks to the power of our orator start. He doesn't have a citadel here yet, but I imagine he'll build one soon. Looks like he's getting lumber mills up and running. He's also had a little more border expansion there than I have. I haven't quite gotten, or I guess I need to unchop this. I did chop this, so yeah, we both have that same forest. Yeah, he's gotten all the hills, and I think I haven't quite. Yeah, so ambitions, no current ambitions. Succession, don't have a kid yet, but our sister is next in line at 11. And we started politics because even if we do have a kid, it'll be 10 years before the kids can pick a profession or pick an archetype or pick a educational level. Tech-wise, we're trying to go for barding. Don't see any signs from him around conscripts or anything like that. Still militia. So that will be our warning sign. If we see conscripts, then we know he's going for infantry square. Don't see any ranges either, which is a requirement there for compo. So these in land consolidation do not see him upgrading any of these. It doesn't look like he's going down the pipeline. And I see a bunch of chariots that I've seen for a while. He's founded all 10 cities at this point. But yeah, tech-wise, we are going to be prioritizing techs that lead to barding. So we're getting steel this turn. And then if we can't get a tech that leads to barding, we will get compo and or cartography. And then potentially doctrine. And potentially Latine sail or autarky. But those are all like nice to have. Ideally we get barding and then we fill the other ones in with the power of horses. So we have horses in a couple sites. We have horses here. We have horses here, which I probably should be prioritizing getting the city up to military strength. And we, of course, have horses here in our capital. And everyone else can produce, we have horses here, which is very important. Everyone else can produce workers, mason. And later, potentially, we can produce crossbowmen if need be, but we'll see. For now, we're going hard on barding. Theoretically, he has more science than I do. I'm at 130, judging by his capital having 33 science and 400 gold a turn, which is honestly pretty insanely strong. He did get the museum in there, which is helping that as well. So we'll see how things go there. But yeah, tech-wise, this with battle with cartography and compo as we go along, and then potentially Latin sail into fiscal policy just for being able to buy orders if need be. We will see. That's far away. Yeah. Everyone's happy, so I don't think we need to go down land consolidation. So not at this time, and we're going to keep printing Palton cabs here that we will upgrade. So we should probably conserve. We'll need for 3 upgrades, so that's 75 in 3 years. So yeah, we need 225 or so. So we just need to make sure we have 225 food, 225 iron by turn 23, so, or 63. That should be easy to do. But yeah, we just need to be careful as we've been selling food quite a bit. Cool. Law-wise, we are on 7 laws. He is on 6. Our laws are ethics, freedom, centralization, constitution, serfdom, monotheism, legal code. So all pretty good there. Wonders, just so far pyramids with Ishtar being built, and he built museum. Theologies, we just added redemption because it gave us an ambition and some charisma. And then he's gone mythology and revelation, which is interesting with that mythology start. Judaism has spread to our city here, which means we have a chance for founding Christianity next turn, I believe, because all the prereqs are in place, and we have metaphysics. The fact that he has not founded Christianity also implies he does not have metaphysics yet, which is surprising because I would expect him to be trying to steal research. So we will see. And Manichaeism, potentially. Basically, the advantage of founding these late religions is if you can keep them happy, that is essentially, gives you 2 free victory points from the religious wonder that you can build whenever you want, or the religious holy site. So that's pretty cool. We'll see if we end up founding Christianity or whether it goes to him. We'll discover that next turn. Cities by training. We go to this screen here. Samarkand is number 1 right now, and Parsa is number 2. And then we don't have anyone else that is at all a training city, so we only really have 2 real production cities. Looking over to him, looks like he's getting this one up online. And yeah, I don't see any other. Oh, this one and this one. So he's got 2 here that are, looks like he's aiming towards connecting as well along the coast, similar to how I have. So I can foresee some conflict here, or potentially here. I definitely want to see what's going on along the south. I feel like I have good vision in the north. I don't really have great vision of the south. So this scout might be doing some loops. So didn't see much here. Source of science. Parsa is currently number 1 at 24 compared to his city, which has 33. So we're pretty close, honestly. We have our uncle, who is, of course, horrible from a charisma perspective, -5, but great from a wisdom perspective, 4. So he's contributing 6 science by himself there to that city. And that's putting Parsa ahead. And then Carthage is at 20 science, and Samarkand. And then all the other cities were really benefiting a lot from having those monasteries everywhere. And then, of course, our agent in his capital is giving us 13 science, which is pretty hilarious in terms of being able to benefit. And our spy master is also giving us a lot of science, both as our husband and our spy master. Family opinion, everyone's been happy. Let's take a look at graphs, starting from family opinion. A little bit down when we had inheritance issues, but pretty much happy all game. Victory points, resource price, wood. We have been selling wood all game, selling some food now. Iron, stone and iron always continue to go up. Territory, pretty much explored all the territory there is to explore. Territory owned, likewise. We've done all our settling at this point, and it's just slow border expansion. And mill score, you can see once we start producing Palton calves and now upgrading them soon to cataphract archers, we will have some progress there. Our wood production is finally positive for the first time in the game. We've got a couple lumber mills up and some more coming up soon. Stone production, very healthy at 200. Iron, going up. Food, pretty stable at 140. Definitely want to keep an eye on that iron production. We've got the food production, we've got pretty much all our nets here. We're getting a couple fishers left, but we don't really have that many more opportunities for food, and a lot of the things we want to build will be food dependent, so we'll want to balance our food and iron production. I think right now we're skewing a little heavy towards iron, so we might build some hard farms. Here might be a nice spot, for example. We'll think about how we want to place granaries around here. Could do a granary here, for example, and then get a farm, super farm here or something like that. Orders, you can see what happened when we didn't have an orator, but we've been very lucky and have had 3 orators in a row, which has enabled us, I think, to be winning on the order graph. Money-wise, probably nowhere near as good money-wise as he is, but still very solid. And science-wise, 132. Really curious to see how this compares to his graph. So, yeah, we're doing very well with science. Culture, continuing to climb. Training, civics, very strong civics production with the orators, and growth. National wealth is 1610. We are up to 20 specialists, 3 miners, 4 stonecutters, 2 ranchers, 3 fishers, an apprentice monk, an elder monk, 2 apprentice officers, 2 elder officers, a master poet, and an elder poet. So getting some benefit from constitution there. Apart from the 12 normal specialists, that's 8 non-rural specialists, 8 urban specialists, that's 8 science from that. 25 workers, I think we're good, probably overbuilt a little bit worker-wise. I hilariously feel myself lacking under worker in my capital. It's just too far away. Produced 2 military units, our Palton Cavs. Killed 12 units, 7 laws, 24 techs, 4 courtiers, and 110 improvements. 20 mines, 27 quarries, 3 lumber mills, 1 farm, 9 pastures, 4 barracks, 5 Odeons. Definitely going a little culture heavy here, just to get everything up and running, and 1 wonder with another wonder on the way. What can we see from cognomens? He is the keystone, which doesn't really tell us anything. We are also a keystone. Improvements and wonders, and likewise for us, improvements, 46 improvements finished, and he's got improvement and a wonder. So we basically have the same cognomen. And then lastly, family tree. And let's see, actually, take a look here what the story is with his heir. He's got a son, 4-year-old, zealot husband. So yeah, his heir is a 4-year-old. So that's interesting. I'll see what that heir grows up to be. Yeah, he's still power similar. So yeah, we'll see whether we can flip that over to being stronger than him. Probably will want to move my leader down here and get a scholar in there as well. And then lastly, family tree. Pretty full family tree. We've got ourselves and our sister here, our heir, and then our uncle who rebelled against us. He's still plotting against us. Hopefully he won't do anything fun, but he's currently governor over capital, thanks to that builder bonus. So we'll see how things go there. And we'll see if we get any issue from Vestris and her husband, hopefully soon, so to secure the line of the inheritance. You can see we've been very lucky with 3 orators in a row, without having to designate heir or anything. So that's definitely making this game a little easier. We also had a very early event where we got a free settler, which is quite strong. So hopefully with Ishtar, we will get some more cities. We'll basically be able to rush everywhere, which will be very, very powerful. And then we can consider other wonders, although I think I'm prioritizing military right now over other wonders. And if I can get this city, perhaps that'd be really nice. Or maybe this city. I feel like he is not quite ready, but never count Frederik out. And he can definitely scale up military production very, very quickly, I'm sure. Already see apprentice officers coming in here. He's got 1, so he's getting this city up. And then here he's already working on master officers in this city and connecting stuff. So he's going to potentially be producing out of here. That also implies that we should want to attack these 2 cities to remove his 2 core production cities. These cities are all founded very late, so he doesn't really have them online. This was just coming online. This was the last set founded city. So if we are able to take out this city and even this city, his military production will be very, very crippled. He doesn't seem to have any others. Ours is here and our capital. So we don't have quite the forward. Basically, when this city is particularly awkwardly far away, we may want to road network this after we finish these lumber mills or something, just so we can bring units north. Probably we'll think about that. But yeah, this city is just such a powerhouse in terms of training, and then yeah, picking up ranges as we go along. I did skip cartography because he's naive, and I'd rather prioritize barding text. but we'll see. We should be able to get Phalanx next turn and really prio towards those barding techs. So I think that's it for this update. Game is definitely getting interesting. I don't anticipate we'll see conflict in the next 10 turns or so, but who knows? Man, this poor worker building quarries in the marshes. That's really rough. We will be in that same position when we build a hamlet here and another way here to connect. So we get southern coastal movement. And then, yeah, this city is not in a really good spot, although it does have horses. So we'll figure out what we want to do. This city's a little easier to come to the front. Yeah, I guess the other consideration here is, yeah, getting that road from Samar to Atana. Get as much coastal movement, and then, yeah, maybe, like, I'd love to collapse these borders entirely, but that's going to be pretty hard to do. Maybe we can consider colonies. Because that will solve a lot of issues. Here, for example, if we buy this and like hamlet this or something, we can collapse all these borders and enable movement. He still has that one bireme. All right, that's it for this sit rep. We'll continue recording and narrating the turns because that's pretty interesting, and we'll see how this game continues to shape up.
And turn 16. We have our turn to play out first before we go into the whole situation report part of the turn. So we got this event by finishing the Odeon here, and I'm very tempted to just grab the this is a judge, a 6 charisma judge who is a poet, and he's a family judge without a family too. I think I'm just revising my decision. I was taking the culture to get up to developing immediately, but I think I'll take him. He's too good to pass up. So the civics is a bit annoying, but we are getting more civics right about now. It's good. He can be very, very helpful. So we wanting to be running a hamlet here until we finish the culture level in 2 turns. It lines up perfectly. That actually, where do I want this? Am I making this here? I think I'm making this here, so I'm actually building the hamlet here. Then let's finish our combat down here, clean this up. Even if swamps can kill, he survives that 1 point of damage. We have this ongoing. So we are doing the hamlet over here, and I think we push one down here to just accelerate this. Keeping him here. This gets our wood going. This was all the workers, and we have 7 orders left over. Do want to rush out this guy. Building a hamlet over here, eh? Is he trying to push his borders closer? It's a problem if I want to build the grove up here. So workers are done. This is done. Merchant is ill. We recovered, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that yet. So that's good. So 7 orders to do stuff with. Probably want to move our units from the back towards the front. And rather starting with the scout. One second, let's look at the landscape here. We are sitting here. 3-4 tiles off the camels. That's here. It's like 1, 2, 3 maybe if you build improvements here. Let's peek out. Could go here. I don't see any more troops here, which is good if I want to protect this later. So I can now move towards this tile. But with the reveal going, I can only move 2, another 2, so I won't be reaching that forest. It's not exactly where I want to be, so I think we're just going back. Okay. So the scout. And I'm guessing move this one once over. I can also heal, but I think we just idle healing this at this point. That's it for all the orders. Our leader is busy. He is still only 4 years of age. Families are fine. We're influencing her. So getting some roads in place would also not be the worst, but we want to use our trader workers for that. Because it means we can place our chariots up here to gather some experience. They will also be, once this closes up, they will also be in strike range to reinforce here, should he try to force the issue around this improvement. So let's check culture. His capital did go up. He did grab Judaism here. This is an event, I'm pretty sure. Probably from the Strong Culture event. So maybe he is trying to grab things. The problem is we are still far away from our next law. So we cannot start our citadel, and we also can't even start producing elephants. And I'm probably still rushing the theater out before the stronghold, although maybe not. I don't think that makes a big enough difference. I need to get elephant production going first. So let's put a reminder down. Stronghold. Top Statesmen City for the next turn. Similar here. 2 turns. Stronghold. Rival seat. In 62. Just setting priorities. This is of course a bit vulnerable. He established redemption. I'm pretty sure that's from an event. I don't think he would spend the civics on that. I don't think, I mean, harbors and hamlets output. Maybe he is interested in getting extra money out of his hamlets. You never know, but I don't think so. Okay, he's still similar in land, but he will have started his citadel, so if we unlucky, his cataphracts will hit the field in about urban improvements in about 5 years. 5 years and then moving to the front, so 6 to 7 years till cataphracts can hit the front lines. That's a problem. It's a decent chance he'll just overrun us with cataphracts in 8 turns or so, and I can't do much about it, probably. It's a good... Probably need to get some spearmen fortified in these forests to make any approach of his cataphract archers not a good idea by him. So we only have 1 warrior though, and these cities are kind of busy with other stuff. So I guess we are going back to building the warrior here. Maybe 1. These turns aren't helping in any way. Guess we're building 1 here. Other than that, so let's look at the situation. We went forestry, discovered forestry, we got mythology from an event, we got phalanx, we finally got drama, way too late, almost 60 turns in. Working on land consolidation right now. I did establish revelation. We got our line of succession secured. He began the Ishtar Gate, which, since there's no double victory, I'm assuming that's for culture in his other cities. So his hunter city became strong, so it's probably for the other cities to catch up, I guess. He is still on 7 laws, so no orthodoxy. That's at least one good thing, so he cannot rush units and officers as easily. Then tech-wise, working on land consolidation, not my favorite choice, but it did come up. Between all the choices, it was still the best. Could argue for composite bow for some ranges, as we're now starting to gather wood, but it's too late for that. I very much need citizenship to catch up in my capital, get the civics going, and get some scribes down. We are building this up, but this is despite the museum, this is a sorry state of affairs. In terms of science, We have 3 from our leader, it could be better. But we have way too few specialists to make this really work. So we are otherwise in terms, we are planning to get this for our 7th law, so we can get our own citadel up. We are still a builder, so I can rush this out, but since land consolidation came up here and there's no law available, I have to make do with this. It will at least boost our culture in here through these groves. Religion is spreading a bit. We got religion here. This also boosts our culture by quite a bit. So then as far as stats go, we do have some decent money still. Population almost half in specialists, investing in some officers now, as well as some of those marble stone cutters. Not many units built, that needs to change soon. We finished clearing the last camp and settling the last city. So these are still our laws, not really having used orthodoxy. Hopefully with the last camp cleared and our military moves done for the most part, except for moving troops to the front, we can actually starting to use this. We are very much behind in tech. It's mainly because our capital is not working out and I haven't really prepared a good civics pump. I am working on the Statesmen city in the center, working towards that. Here farms starting to get lumber mills down and mostly our special resources as well as some barracks and audience now. Finished the museum. So this is what we trying to get up as civics. We do have a scholar. We randomly got a scholar available. That's hopefully not dying too soon. It's age 30, so hopefully don't have a garrison in here anyway, but we are focusing on culture first. Probably not getting to strong culture in time, so we have to make do with tier 2 inquiries. Still making the best of a bad situation. Then family opinions are holding for the most part. The riders are happy with us now that our husband is leading them. The traders are still good in the positives. Resource prices. Wood is still very much down. Alcaras chopping, using his orders to chop and sell wood. So what we're seeing here for the most part, this was the jump, this jump, and this jump was me buying out the museum. Food is going down slightly. I don't think I've sold anything here, so it's also him selling. So military score slightly going up. That's probably mostly me upgrading the last few tribal mercenaries. I think I got the one chariot from an event. Not sure which turn that was. Then production wood is now going up. We will need lots of that. Stone has stalled a bit, or even gone down a bit, as we are getting lots of urban buildings down now. There will be some more quarries coming online though. Some marble quarries are still being built. Iron going down from additional troops and barracks. Haven't really built any additional mines. Food, there should be some fish and crabs coming online soon to push this up. More. Orders is kind of important. We are working on increasing this by building every specialist possible to increase this, and building garrison as we can. Money is kinda going up again as we are building some hamlets, but we've been having good money incomes basically since turn 33. That's our one big plus that we have. Discontent just creeping up as we get more cities. Culture is now starting to ramp up more since we're building Odeons and theaters. Training as well since we're building officers. Civics is also slowly, steadily going up. More cities, more marble online. This is just regular increases. We do kind of want to get this to up. Why is this so low? Oh, yeah, 2 events tanking our opinion there. That's kind of biting us. Don't want to influence her since she's so old. Could try and assign a diplomat here, but they are both old. I mean, that's her. We don't have an ambassador assigned. We don't have good candidates. She's ill. Him essentially, but we assigned him as governor. So I guess that was a mistake. Unfortunate. Where do I want to use him? Probably here. I mean, that is the diplomat. So if you want to use this guy here anyway, then we can do the switch up here. Need to be careful with my civics though. I do not want to go. I do want to have enough civics around to enact legal code when we get this. How's the tech? Just the draw pile looking? Pretty full, so we're not guaranteed to get citizenship next. It's the worst case. The 2 free cards we don't really want, but we can use for a reroll if push comes to shove. Don't want to grab metaphysics since it would trigger Christianity. Steel, I don't really want to. Portcullis I kind of want, but would like to delay this past citizenship. Monasticism would be a law and it would allow us to build monasteries. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what comes up in 3 turns. So, you might also get lucky. I think there's an event that can give you legal code for free if you have orthodoxy, which we do have. So that would be very good for us at that point. I mean, we still desperately want the courthouses, but having legal code down, having any other law down at this point, I would take any law just to start our citadel in the capital. Because as soon as the officers are done here, which isn't that long, we want the stronghold down. Stronghold is 5 years, so yep. So we pushed it down to 3 years. This connects here. That's not enough to. I think that's not enough to collapse the whole border here, and this isn't either. Once we get this down, they will collapse. Anyway, I think we didn't look at his leader. He is an orator. He has charisma going up, but he has not picked up any other traits. Gracious, I think he has had from the beginning. His kids are starting. A politics student here. There's still the builder here. He has a hunter judge, which is unfortunate. Eloquent too. but he is not assigned. I mean, he just came of age, so the queen is sitting in the capital as far as I know. Yep, that's the capital. No, that's the cleric seat. Here we have a commerce student, just probably him trying to get as many orators as possible at this point, which, I mean, we will also be aiming for. I don't know much about what's going on his side. I'm moving the scout forwards to get a handle on what's happening here. I do need to move a scout into his backline soonish. I mean, once we have portcullis, we can just move forward and make us an agent network in his cleric seat, which we want anyway, since that's probably the highest science city of his. We do have 2 schemers, although by the time we get portcullis, those will probably be pretty old. So yeah, mentioned this in the turns in between, but the capital not really working out with the way I've chosen to tech, and with how low the growth was in here all the time. To make the trader capital work, I think you need more growth and early Odeons to build poets. Of course, also I would have really liked him to have Zoroastrianism, so I can Judaism, so I can found Zoroastrianism with the 2 acolytes. It would have made things a lot easier as well. So things are trucking along slowly. Still fearing the attack in about 7 to 8 turns. That will just walk over us. So needing to get at least a few elephants out and ready and upgraded. And also get some roads in place. I need to have this, so we probably want a road from here forward as well as down here to facilitate movement. But our trader workers are kind of busy. So that's it for the situation report from turn 60. Let's see how long this game really goes. It doesn't look too good for me right now, but we'll have to wait and see. Nothing's decided until he actually breaks into our lands and kills our armies. So, see you soon.
Turn 61. Christianity was founded as we suspected it might be. Our ambassador also died, which is less than great. So we'll go for Phalanx, continuing down our path of going towards barding. We'll pick an ambassador. We will resolve events. Actually going to pick up a free law from events for orthodoxy from Saul. You can see our events here. We also got horses from Gordium here, which is right there. So that's where they're going to go, which is great. So there's our free law from the persecutor Saul, and Saul joins our court as well. For some reason, our uncle keeps losing charisma, so he's -6 now, which is really terrible, but that's okay. And then our last event is we got XP. I didn't want to pick Holy War as an ambition, because I'd rather get some XP on this leader, get her to get another strength. Here we'll start another granary. We will start another Palton Cav there. Start archive there and swapped in a scholar governor so that we can start inquiries next turn, as well as get we moved our leader down here. Started Fisher Specialist here. Chopping and starting a Rax. Moving this over. Starting a Rax here. Starting a monastery here to get some additional science in our capital. Not chopping, but rather starting a lumber mill here. Starting another lumber mill here. And then I'm going to adopt colonies as my law. And I'm going to start buying tiles towards here. Would like to, I'm going to move my last move there to move another tile buyer. I want to connect this, make sure that this river is mine, so that I can move forces up here. And that will enable me to basically easily get up here. Since I'm running epics, not exploration, I can't use neutral rivers. So it's in my interest to get that up and running. And likewise here, potentially can likewise collapse some borders potentially. Once I have something unit-wise, might produce something here. We might rush out a Fisher with Orthodoxy, or just rush out a apprentice officer or something, unsure. Want to get this city online. Definitely want to get this city online, especially with these horses there now. And we are a couple turns away, 5 turns away from Ishtar, so that'll be great in terms of enabling us to rush more things. Orthodoxy is obviously huge. We will swap back, I think, to serfdom, but I want to buy some tiles right now while we have what feels like some air to breathe. So getting Orthodoxy is obviously huge in terms of being able to rush things out. And indeed, I did use 16 orders to rush out Halton Cav, and we'll rush out another one next turn so we can upgrade 4. So we'll need to make sure we can conserve some forces there, some resources. That'll get us a nice little power spike, potentially 5 Cataphract Archers, and 5 Cataphract Archers can do a lot of damage here that he does not look like he is ready to deal with at all. So, all right, I think that's it for this turn. We'll send it back to him and see how things go. And we should consider influencing Christian Head, which I think will get signed in 2 turns, just to make sure that folks stay friendly here. Our Jewish Head is actually happy with us, but we are persecuting the Christians right now. That's part of the price of Orthodoxy from Saul. Saul will doubtless have an event to convert back, and we will, of course, welcome him with loving arms. And yeah, we'll continue going through here, and then consider possibly buying a tile here, buying a tile here, here, something like that. We'll see how these borders can collapse. Maybe 3 tiles this way, 3 tiles this way. Yeah, I think that should be doable as buy, collapse borders nicely and enable us to pull units to the north from here. And give it that maybe we don't build the Fisher actually after all. Instead we just get another worker, because we're going to want to buy tiles, I think, potentially with that worker. Or maybe even a scout. Honestly, it's going to be the fastest thing. And we'll use that scout to buy tiles, because we don't really have anything free to buy tiles with right now. Yeah. So this will finish as well. We can just buy a tile instead of building a theater there. There's no point for a theater. All right. Yeah, free Orthodoxy is just so powerful. And just our enormous civics income is also facilitating a lot of this. When Ishtar finishes, we're going to be in great shape. All right, let's go ahead and send this one back.
Turn 61. We got another governor dying, which was this governor, which is unfortunate. We only needed 1 or 2 more rushes in here to finish our officers. We do have other judges available, but of course the assignment cost is a thing. So let's run through here real quick. Just worker movement, getting this done and protecting it. Now next hamlet, done in 1 turn. Pulling this back in healing since he has built these. I don't have that much stone, so focusing on nets for now. Pulling this into friendly territory. Starting a garrison in here. could double up on this, of course, but I also need a governor slot if I want to build inquiries in here. So this is just fine. Then now we have 2 orders left. We did get in a Thresh Orator, which is pretty lucky. So we do have someone in here. It's not enough to get these to 200 though, our Statesmen. It will push these up. But I can't quite think. I'd rather just run an influence mission against him. He doesn't have any traits though, so we can't trigger an event from that. Still, we want him influenced and probably converted. So if we convert him, that's already enough to get to 100 opinion with the assignment, for the opinion from having the ambassador position. So next turn, assign and intercess ambassador. That's for next turn. So in 2 turns we want to pull one of the workers out of here. That's 33. Pull worker state of stronghold center north. This will level up. That's pretty clear that we want to come over here. This is ongoing. Stone. We are going through our stone quickly. Not any orders left. So the theater, the Orion is 4 turns. So 4 turns out the Odeon still on 1 turning the Odeon and then probably pulling the worker down, the rider worker, and then resuming here. I mean, this worker also needs something to do, more or less. Let's see a scout in here. Question is if that means he moved up to this to build a spy network. It's the most likely thing. I also need some stone for this, and this isn't reduced by frugal. Land consolidation finishing up in 2. Could start this. Yep, but I don't want to drag this out. We went over most of the details in the situation report last turn. There's not much has changed. Oh, this has changed. He did get orthodoxy. That's pretty bad for us. He has an orator with all the orders, and he's going to be rushing out units and officers, so that will probably turn into a problem soon. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. See you soon.